Hey, I got a little special treat for you today. I'm just going to do an overview of a very special old film camera, which was very, very popular at the time. This is the Pentax K-1000. Now, if you've ever taken a photography class, a film photography class, this is one of the cameras that that the professor will recommend. Will probably be in the top of his list of a camera that you should buy. This one, or a Canon AE1, or a Minolta X700 would be the top probably three, and then the Nikon, I can't remember the one that they would probably recommend, but this one is probably like one of the top ones because it'll probably be the cheapest one you can get. They made a ton of these. They made this from 1976 to 1997, and at the time it was one of the cheaper cameras, but it's a very solid camera. The shutter on this thing lasts. I hadn't seen too many of these where the shutter doesn't work. I mean, it just goes thousands and thousands of shots. So today I'm just going to kind of show you. I buy a lot of these to flip, and it just because you could find these since they sold so many, you could find them occasionally at thrift stores and also at flea markets, yard sales, and whatnot. Typically what they sell for on eBay, if everything's working, I'll show you how to test and make sure everything's working. They sell from $100 to $200 depending on what lens is with them and how clean they are. You could do a little bit of cleaning up yourself. But let's take a look. So if you're, I'm just going to do this like you don't know anything about photography. Okay. So this right here, what you saw me do, that is your film forward lever. So you pull that back, and then notice you can't pull it back again. You already cocked it once. And this is your shutter button. So you just do that, and you'll hear it click. But that's not the first thing you should do, because the most common problem with this is there's an obstruction in the viewfinder. So first thing you do is pick it up and look through the viewfinder here. If there's like something that looks like foam or something that obstructing it, you probably don't want to get it unless it's super cheap and you can sell it for parts. That's a real problem. It's all up there in the prism of the camera, and it's not worth getting. It takes a lot of time to pull all this crap off and try to fix it. So I would stay away from that. So that's the first thing you should look for. Second thing is you should make sure this shutter works. So what you want to do is there's this little knob right here, and that's for your exposure, your shutter speed. Notice there's a bunch of numbers on there. You should put it up all the way here to that red line is where it goes. So to 1,000th. What that is 1/1000th of a second. That's how fast that shutter's going. So just cock it back. Super quick right there. Now, if you go down here, we'll go down here to 2. It should sound like this. So the last click is actually the shutter going. See how it took a little while for it to do it? That means the shutter's working correctly. So that all works good. Now the only other problem that you'll probably have is that the light meter doesn't work. Now if you look through here through the viewfinder, it looks clear. If you look kind of on the right hand side, that's where your light meter will be. And there's a little needle that goes up for plus and down for minus. This tells you, helps you if it's in the middle that your exposure is correct. But the only problem is, if you find one of these in the thrift store or flea market or whatever, the battery's probably dead. And that's the only thing that's actually needs the battery on this camera. That's why the shutter can fire without it or anything. So, and it's still worth buying, even if that doesn't work. If you are going to get one of these off, say, Facebook or something like that, Facebook Marketplace, I would go ahead and buy a battery to take with you so you could try it out and just know. If the light meter isn't working, I think you could still get about $75 for this, because you could actually use, you could Google it, the Sunny 16 rule. Experienced photographer can use that and figure out exposure without having to use the light meter or not. So the battery is right here on the bottom. I'll show you if you're going on Facebook Marketplace to meet somebody to get this. That just unscrews. Let me do that real quick. Let me pause this. Alright, there it came off, and it just, you just use a quarter or some change to pull that off. So like I said, if you're meeting somebody on Facebook Marketplace as a meetup or something, just go ahead and buy these. All it takes is one of these batteries. You can buy a pack of 4 of these at the dollar store for $1. So these are LR44 batteries. It kind of looks like a little watch battery. And what you're going to do is, it even says here on the cover, the plus side goes on the top. So just put that in there, and then use your coin. Of course, I don't have a quarter. I never can find a quarter when I need them. And screw it back in. And then you can test that light meter just to see if it works. If you open it up and it's all corroded inside there, that light meter is probably not going to work. But like I said, if everything else is working good, you could still get it. I'm using a screwdriver. It's better to use a quarter. But all right, sorry. Let me focus that again. All right, to test the light meter after you put that new battery in there, just how to test it is put your lens here to the around f5.6 or something like that. If you're outside or inside, kind of point it towards the light with that, and then put your hand like slightly over the lens like that, and you'll see the needle as you move your hand off and back. You'll see the little needle go up and down, telling you that your exposure is too bright or too dark or whatever. So that's the way to do that. All right, a couple other things to look at is to take off the lens. Now typically the lens that comes with this would be right here on the front. It'd say 50mm f2. This one I bought came with a totally different one, like a third-party 28mm lens, which is fine. It doesn't really matter too much. This is one that's, if you find one that's anything like this one, it will look like this, but instead of saying f1.7, it will say, or 1 colon whatever 1.7, it will say 1:2. If you find one that says 1:1.4, that is spectacular. You should probably spend a little extra money if they're asking for more. If you had this camera and sold it with that lens on it, you could probably get close to $200. To test the lens, all you want to do is move these numbers down here to the lowest number, like this is 1.7, and you'll hold it up to the light and just make sure there's no, like, look through it and make sure there's no like fungus looking stuff, or it's just cloudy from haze, or one of the two things to look for. And while you're doing that, just make sure it completely turns in the focus here. Those are two main things to look at the lens, and just make sure it works that way. And also, like, you could turn it all the way up to f22 and make sure the aperture closes down like that. If you hit that thing right there, see how it opens up? It should snap like that. That's the two things that look, or the couple things that look for in the lens. Now, while I've got this off, I'm going to look in here. See that in there? There's a mirror, so you just make sure it's not cracked or anything like that. You won't typically find that. If the mirror is cracked, the whole body's probably in a very bad shape. So there's another thing to look for. This is the bumper for the mirror. So the mirror flips up. Here, I'll go ahead and do that for you. So watch. See that? The mirror flips up and exposes the film for a second, and then clicks, and the shutter opens up, exposes the film, and it does the mirror and bounces around. You could Google that on how this works. I'll do it one more time. I'll put it in slow so you can see it. Slower shutter speed. Much. See, it exposes a little bit more. Alright, so there's that. So kind of look if that bumper should be there. If it's not that big a deal, but it's in better quality, or it's been stored a little bit better if that bumper foam is still there like it is in this one. A lot of times it's just disintegrated because it's been in storage for a long time. So this one's really good, and the mirror's in really good condition. And you open it up. Oh, sorry. So the way you open it up, to open up the back where the film would go in, up here on the top, this little knob right here, you can just pull this thing out and just pull up, and it will click open the back here. And this is where you would see. So you want to just see that film forward lever what I was talking about. You see how it moves. If you had film in here, it would be moving across here, right across here, and then here, while I've got it open, I'll let you see the see how it opened up. It opened up in the back, and it was exposing the film there to the light, and that's where you're going to get your shot there. So, while you're in here, this is the last thing. Make this short. Around the edge right here, just make sure everything's good. A lot of people will add some extra foam in here. That's to protect against light leaks and stuff like that. But this one closes up pretty good. I don't think you'll have a problem with anything like that. So this one's in really good condition. It came with that third-party lens. I had this. I just happen to have this 50mm f1.7, so this is a little bit better, the lower the number, so it's a little bit more desirable than the actual 50 f2 lens that probably came with this. So this camera, I'm going to clean it up a little bit here on top. Just use I just use like alcohol like you would on your lens, and I'm just with a Q-tip and clean all that stuff off. Take pictures of all the sides of it. It's been tested. It's in great working condition. I'm going to sell this probably. I'm going to sell it pretty quick, so I'll put it for $119. You could probably get $150 off of it, to tell you the truth. But good working camera. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. This was just a quick video I just decided to do because I don't think I've done a K-1000 video. This is their most popular camera ever they've done, made. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you hadn't. Click the little bell if you want updates when I release videos. All that good stuff. Thanks.